Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are zooming in on digital transformation, but specifically for the businesses that, really form the backbone of our economy.
Small and medium enterprises,
Y-
SMEs.
Exactly. For what feels like too long, these big ERP systems have felt like these giant, complex tools just for massive corporations.
And that perception is precisely what needs to change. I mean, the landscape has just shifted so dramatically.
How so?
Well, digital agility isn't optional anymore. It's an imperative. SMEs now have to achieve the same level of, say, data visibility and efficiency as their huge competitors,
Just to stay in the game.
just to maintain their footing, let alone grow.
And based on the research we've looked at, the pressures on Australian SMEs specifically are, well, they're pretty intense right now. It's not just some abstract idea of competition.
Oh, it's very specific pain points. They're battling these uh, significant increases in operational costs, a persistent shortage of skilled labor, and relentless customer expectation.
And want everything faster.
Faster, more transparency, more personalization. And when you're still running core parts of your business on spreadsheets or siloed systems, those things don't just slow you down.
No.
They become active bottlenecks. They literally suppress your ability to innovate and respond.
Okay, so that sets the stage perfectly for our mission today. We are going to unpack a specific solution that claims to sort of democratize this whole process. SAP Business One.
Often just called B1.
B1,
Right.
right. We want to understand exactly how this ERP solution can help an SME build what you called a unified, intelligent business ecosystem.
Okay, so let's unpack that. I think we have to start with a really foundational distinction.
You know what?
Because when many people hear the name SAP, they immediately conjure these images of systems that take years and, well, hundreds of millions to implement.
Oh, absolutely. The corporate behemoths. So B1 is fundamentally different. For a non-technical leader listening, how would you define it simply?
SAP Business One is a comprehensive business management solution, but, and this is the key, it's explicitly purpose-built for the SME mindset. It's streamlined, it's significantly less resource-intensive, and crucially, it's designed to give you the functional breadth you need as you grow, but without that overwhelming complexity of the enterprise platforms.
The core benefit here, and it's in all the sources, is this idea of unification. What does that mean in practice? Why should I care if it's all in a single database?
Yeah, it means that every single core function, financials, sales, purchasing, inventory, CRM, all of it, they all feed into one shared truth.
Okay.
That eliminates data silos. So your sales team and your warehouse team are looking at the exact same inventory numbers in real time. The finance team sees profitability before an invoice even goes out.
So it's like the business's central nervous system.
That is the perfect analogy. It connects every limb instantly.
And that real-time connection must be vital, especially since B1 is used by such a diverse range of companies.
Absolutely. We see it in trading and distribution managing, complex multi-location inventory. We see it in manufacturing, import-export businesses.
You mentioned import-export. They rely on it for things like compliance and something called landed cost calculations. Let's define that. For someone who doesn't run a global supply chain, what is a landed cost and why is it so important to automate?
It's the total cost of a product after it has arrived at your dock. So it's not just what you paid the supplier.
Right.
It layers in all the other expenses. Freight, duties, customs, insurance, even currency fluctuations. If you're tracking that manually, you have no real idea of your true margin until weeks later.
And by then it's too late.
Automating it means you get instant, accurate profitability on every single item.
Which gets to the strategic difference here. It's about flexibility, scalability, and a lower total cost of ownership. It's built to avoid that system replacement headache.
Precisely. The goal is a long-term strategic investment. It's designed to scale with you.
So the system I buy today still works when I'm 5 times bigger.
Exactly. It handles growth from a small team right up to global operations without forcing those incredibly disruptive multi-million-dollar system overhauls every few years.
Okay, let's get into the specifics, the features that actually eliminate those spreadsheets. Starting with the CFO, they're going to ask about control and compliance. The system claims unprecedented control.
Right. So beyond the basics like real-time general ledger, AP, AR, the transformative power is in the automation.
For example.
Bank reconciliation automation. This drastically reduces the time you spend at month end. I mean, it can take a task that takes days and compress it into just a few hours.
That's huge for efficiency. But what about the compliance anxiety, especially here in Australia?
That's where the pre-built compliance-ready reporting comes in. We're talking about integrated support for GST, BAS, PAYG requirements.
Ah,
For an SME finance team, that's not just a convenience. It's a massive risk mitigator. Less time wrestling with ATO requirements, less stress.
and more time for actual strategic analysis. Okay, let's shift to the COO, the operations side, supply chain. How does B1 move a business out of that reactive firefighting mode?
Through deep, granular control. It offers true multi-warehouse management, so you have immediate stock visibility across all your locations. But for ops leaders, the real game changers are in the details.
Such as?
Things like automated reorder point alerts to prevent stockouts, and crucially, bin location tracking.
Okay, bin location tracking. Why is that more than just a nice to have?
Well, if you're running a big warehouse and you don't know the exact shelf or rack an item is on, you're wasting hours trying to find a needle in a haystack.
And that's pure labor cost.
All labor cost.
Mm-hmm.
Bin location tracking ensures that when an order comes in, the picking document directs the employee to the exact spot. Instantly. It's essential efficiency.
Which leads right into the integrated CRM. We hear a lot about a 360-degree customer view, but what's the real operational value of that in B1?
What's fascinating is that the CRM isn't just a separate contact manager. It's intrinsically linked to the core.
So
The sales team knows if a customer is over their credit limit before they promise a delivery. It connects sales history, open opportunities, finance, service tickets, all of it, directly to your inventory and fulfillment.
which means the promises you make are promises you can actually keep.
Exactly. It massively reduces fulfillment errors.
And all of this is just generating mountains of data. How do you make sure that data is actually actionable for the executive team?
It's designed for simplicity. You get pre-built executive dashboards for monitoring your KPIs, cash flow, sales targets, whatever. There's a drag-and-drop report designer, so you don't need a data scientist to build a custom report.
And that key feature, the ability to drill down.
Exactly. That's the ability to move instantly from the summary to the detail. If your dashboard shows revenue dropped in Sydney, you don't run a separate report.
You just click on it.
You click the number, and it instantly shows you the underlying sales orders and invoices. It just eliminates that delay between spotting a problem and investigating its cause.
And for a country like Australia, mobility is just non-negotiable.
It absolutely is. You have browser-based access and native mobile apps. So a field sales rep can check stock, place an order, check a customer's credit, all right there from the customer side.
That's a huge competitive advantage.
It's all about speed and service.
Okay, let's transition to the strategic value proposition, the long-term play. We touched on scalability, but how does that translate into ROI? That's the key question.
And here's where it gets really interesting for the CFO. The claim is a lower total cost of ownership, with ROI often seen within, say, 12 to 18 months.
That's fast.
It is. And that rapid return is driven by operational savings. The faster month end, the reduced labor costs, and most significantly, better inventory control, which frees up huge amounts of working capital.
When you talk about process unification, what's the most powerful end-to-end example of automation that B1 delivers? That aha moment.
The order-to-cash cycle is the perfect one. Take a sales order. The moment it's entered, the system automatically checks inventory, reserves the stock, verifies the customer's credit limit, and simultaneously creates the picking list for the warehouse.
All at once.
All in real time. Instantly. No one is manually touching 4 different systems or rekeying data. It transforms these complex human handoffs into immediate systemic action.
That really illustrates the central nervous system idea. Let's do a quick deep dive into trading and distribution because that sector relies so heavily on margin control.
Oh, for trading, these detailed capabilities are essential for survival. Beyond multi-warehouse management, you need complete batch and serial tracking.
Which is for
regulated or high-value goods. It gives you total forwards and backwards traceability, from the moment goods land to the moment they're sold.
What about perishables or anything with a shelf life? That's where inventory can become a liability very quickly.
Exactly. So for those products, the system offers automatic eFIOFO recommendations. First expired, first out. So instead of accidentally selling newer stock first and writing off the old stuff, the system proactively directs pickers to use the stock that's nearing its expiration date.
Maximizing yield.
And reducing financial loss. It also means you can do rapid targeted recalls if an issue ever comes up.
Let's talk pricing. When you're importing, dealing with different wholesalers, pricing structures can become incredibly complex.
Byzantine, yeah. B1 automates this. You can have multiple price lists, volume-based tiered pricing, and critically automatic margin control.
What does that do?
It prevents your sales team from accidentally giving a discount that would result in selling below your true landed cost. It locks in your profitability right at the point of sale,
Yeah.
automatically.
Okay, we've covered the why and the what. Let's get practical. If a listener decides to start this journey, what should they expect from the implementation? It's often the biggest barrier, right?
It is. And a structured methodology is just vital to manage that risk. You typically move through 4 phases. First is discovery and requirement mapping.
So figuring out what you actually need.
Right. You document your current processes, your pain points, and you define the project scope. You have to document the desired future state.
Then phase 2 sounds like the technical core.
That's system configuration and data migration. And the source material is very clear. This is often the hardest part.
Why is that?
Well, we've all heard garbage in, garbage out, and it's just so true here. You can't import inconsistent, messy legacy data and expect quality results. You have to commit to data cleansing beforehand.
And then testing.
Phase 3, testing, UAT, and go live. And you need more than just technical testing. UAT, user acceptance testing, has to be done by the actual everyday users.
The people who will be in the system all day.
Exactly. The person entering orders, the person processing invoices. If they can't use it effectively, the whole thing will fail at the adoption level.
What's the mistake companies make there with UAT?
They treat it like a box-ticking exercise for a project manager, not as real-world stress testing by the people whose jobs are changing. If the warehouse manager doesn't sign off, it won't work on day 1.
Which brings us to the final phase, adoption.
Training and change management. This means moving away from generic, one-size-fits-all training.
It has to be specific.
Right. Role-based training. A salesperson needs different skills than the accounts clerk, and you have to identify and empower internal super users to champion the new system.
Speaking of setup, what are the deployment options?
3 main models: cloud, on-premises, and hybrid. The sources really conclude that cloud deployment offers the best balance for most Australian SMEs.
Why cloud?
Predictable operating expenses, no big upfront hardware cost, and you can access it from anywhere. It's just perfect for multi-state or remote teams.
Okay, so let's finish by highlighting the pitfalls. What are the common challenges SMEs need to actively avoid?
Well, aside from the data migration issues we covered, a huge one is resistance to change.
Human nature.
People are comfortable with the old ways, even if they're inefficient. You have to be transparent and involve them early in the process.
And the one that sinks budgets.
Scope creep, without a doubt. The relentless addition of new unplanned requirements after the project starts. You have to be disciplined and separate the must-haves for go live from the nice-to-haves for later.
Is there another one that's maybe more subtle?
Yes. In the SME space, it's poor process documentation. Too many businesses run on tribal knowledge.
The stuff that's only in one person's head.
Exactly. You absolutely must standardize and document those procedures before you automate them. Automating a bad process just gives you faster bad results.
So bringing this all to a close, B1 is positioned as this central nervous system. It connects operations, finance, and the customer.
It is. The benefits are felt across the whole leadership team. Reduced costs for the CFO, streamlined workflows for the COO, and a modern, scalable foundation for the CTO. It's a single platform that can eliminate the need for 5 or 6 separate software tools.
This doesn't sound like just a technical purchase. It sounds like a fundamental strategic necessity.
Well, we connect this back to the bigger picture. The digital gap between the efficient players and those running on fragmented systems is just widening and widening rapidly. The agility you get from a system like this translates directly into a measurable competitive advantage.
It's the organizations that wait.
They're amplifying their competitive disadvantage with every single quarter that passes.
Which raises the concluding strategic question for you, our listener, today.
As the pressure on costs and labor continues to mount, will you be the one to lead digital transformation in your industry, leveraging tools like this to guarantee efficiency and agility? Or will you spend the coming years playing a frustrating game of catch-up to your more agile competitors? The choice to start the journey really does determine the destination.